Good morning and good afternoon and evening wherever you are. I had some technical issues this morning, but I fixed them earlier. So I don't know what it is about Friday. Ooh. If you are a streamer and you use StreamYard, they must have done some update recently, like in the last few days. Mm. I'm choosing Vision today. Oh, hello. Hey, Space Rebel. I should say hello to you wonderful people showing up. Papa Chalupa, his comment doesn't show up on my YouTube side, but it shows up on my StreamYard. Weirin, pre-liking. So sorry, B-Man. Not first. And we got Badger, Thousand Seabrew, Hutch, David Nelson. Hello. And Boosh, our friend of the channel, Riker. John, you made it. And yes, thank you for doing all the moddy things. Yes. Let's see. Mathian, yes. Mathian. Hello. Island, I haven't seen you in a while. Hello. I hope everyone is well rested and hydrated. I'm currently working on Blue C4. It's blue flavored. Hey, Slay. Hi, Island. Oof, so we had quite a week this week. Oof, so bright. Dark mode for life. We had Trump's address that he gave. Total bangers out of that. If you didn't catch it, there's highlights available. We're not going to play that today, though. There was something else. Oh, yeah, Canada doing Canadian things. They apparently changed. I don't know if this is like a widespread thing, but they changed Americanos to the gay. Yeah, we don't need the music. So stunning, so brave. Yes, I chose eyesight today. It's the only way to go. Unfortunately, like doing that forced dark mode thing kind of flubs up other things. So, I mean, nothing's perfect, but oh, yeah. The Canadiano. Super dumb. Let's see. Oh, in other news, and I don't know how long this has been around or when it was first discovered, but there was a Cheetozard, uh, a Cheeto shaped like a Pokemon, and it just sold at an auction for $87,000 and $87,840. Correct. Yeah, Canada. Sorry, Canadians. Sorry for the good ones that are stuck up there. Tech Rat. Hello. Yeah, so stuck. Much better. Americano is a thing. Canadiano actually makes people gag trying to say. You're actually just by saying it, or if you order it, you're automatically jumped into the alphabet club. But yeah, Cheetozard. That's something. Proof we don't know what to do with our money. Yes. What are we even doing? I don't know. I'm working on getting caffeinated. But I digress. So this was really funny, and it cracks me up every time I see it. But people online saying that Elon Musk moves like a sim. I mean, he's trying to people the best he can. Yeah, no, I just started. I'm not gonna. I'll probably have half and then save the other half for later. Pacing. It's called balance. Yeah, he's trying to people. So funny though. It's too accurate. But yeah, speaking of Elon, SpaceX did their 8th flight test for the Starship yesterday, and while it didn't go spectacularly, they still say that it was a success. In that they have to, figure out what went wrong and just keep improving. He's an AI. He's trying his best. But yeah, so I don't know if you watched it. He's trying to? Yeah, he's trying. So they did their 8th test flight, lifted off out of Texas at 5:30 Central on Thursday. The Super Booster successfully hit its 33 Raptor engines and propelled Starship through the nominal first stage ascent. And you know, the parts that were to come down and get caught by the arms, that all worked just fine. But once it got out there, they lost contact and the attitude was off, and they weren't able to communicate with it anymore. Ultimately, what had happened was it, let's see, let's see, right to the end. An energetic event in the aft portion of the Starship resulted in the loss of several Raptor engines and the loss of attitude control and ultimately loss of communication. Final contact was approximately 9 minutes and 30 seconds after liftoff. And let's see, they immediately began coordination with FAA, ATO, air traffic control, and other safety officials to implement pre-planned contingency responses. So any surviving debris would have fallen within the pre-planned debris response area, and no toxic materials were present in the debris, significant impacts, blah, blah, blah. But it looked really cool. So.
I just saw that starship blew up. There it is.
Yeah. Energetic event. Yes.
That was insane. Did you see it explode?
I saw that it just did. Like my phone was blowing up. I didn't know that it.
Oh my God.
Pretty fantastic. But yeah, progress still. Everything is moving so slowly on this end, including myself. But something else that had happened this week. I don't know if you saw this, but this wasn't the this is a news conference, but it's so creepy anytime they do this. I don't know if you've probably seen it, the different news stations across the United States all saying the same exact thing, scripted and whatnot. Let's see. Island, just trying to stay caught up with laundry and dishes. And Elon's trying to catch rockets. Yeah. And run X and allegedly game. Cringe. Yeah, this is super cringy. So this is from Clandestine, War Clandestine. I've been doing the citizen journalism thing for about 8 years, and whenever the exact same message is being repeated 100% of the time, that message turns out to be a lie. Shocking. At this stage in the game, you should recognize propaganda when you see it. We'll listen to just a little bit. It's obnoxious, but
Will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
okay, so they're all reading the same script. It's not verbatim, but pretty dang close. And my question is, like, why don't they just pick like the most popular ones in the party and just do like a couple of them instead of all of them? Like, technology exists, people, and people have been lining these things up. I don't understand why they think this is a good idea. Yeah, it's gross. I just don't understand why they think their tactics are good. Why did they do them? But Trump again did his address he addressed Congress. It wasn't a State of the Union, but it kind of felt like one. After the speech, CBS was reporting 76 approved of the messaging, 23 disapproved, and even CNN. I like how they brought it down. They didn't go very positive, somewhat positive, negative, or somewhat negative. They just had to break up the positive so it didn't look so high. So 69% positive, nice, and 31% negative overall, even on CNN. So I clicked the thing. Badger gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. You didn't have to, but you did, and it means the world to me. I'm gonna go with.
Oh, crap. I didn't know you were doing one.
Oh, sure. I think I've improved on your methods a bit, too. I employed some chiaroscuro shading and...
I'll improve on your methods.
What? That's not an improvement.
Hi! I'm Barney K. Badger, and I'm going to be your Badger Burger waiter for this evening. Okay, here are some menus. Okay, I'm going to be right back to Badger for your order.
Thank you. That's good, strong man. Strong sad. Gooch is strong sad in this one. The honey May. Yeah, I also make him strong mad too. Just depending. Thing in a bag, he's definitely strong mad. Badger the bad guy. Just an innocent little badger, as he says. Let's see. Arcuz, member for 7 months. Time to pay the kindness forward. Thank you, Arcuz. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even feel like I had memberships that long. Hey, Anthony, welcome. Oh, I didn't lie, but I kind of maybe misled. So I said we weren't going to watch the address, but there was a portion of it that was super duper wholesome. Oh, Arcuz gifted 5, and they're hitting. They're hitting. It's beautiful. Love to see it. Arcuz. I just saw the Irwin F.U. Leon button. Oh no, I renamed things, but yeah.
Score a direct hit.
Thank you, Arcuz. And for those that got the memberships, thank Arcuz. Shout out. So I said we weren't going to watch the address, but there was this portion that was super duper wholesome. And I mean, you would think that like the other side of the aisle could applaud Cancer Kid of color, on top of it, but no.
There's a lot of that
Oh,
too. In
I'm unmuted.
2018,
Unmuted. Hold, please. That is because I'm on the YouTube.
to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that too. In 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service. In the Middle East,
It was super cute. And then he hugged the guy that gave him the badge and everything. Super duper cute. But yeah, this was him telling his story.
But you wanna know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up. And then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing. And he said, "Stop playing with me." And then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow. And then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital. And then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "No, we're gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of.
He's one of those young people that you would say has an old soul, like the way that he speaks and everything. Very impressive. He looks younger than 13, but he sounds so much older. Yeah, he's more mature than all the Democrats who didn't cheer for him. Yeah, it's bullshit. But I was thinking about that. Like his dad noticed that something was off, and he's like, "Oh no, we're going to the hospital now." One of my nephews, when he was an infant, he did this thing where his head would just drop a little bit, ever so slightly, and it's like, that's not right. Like something's going on. Come to find out, after going to many doctor's appointments, they realized that those were mini seizures. So it's crazy. Like especially that his dad was so in tune. I mean, as a parent, you are, but yeah, him telling that part of the story reminded me of just like, yeah, that's not okay. What's going on here? Unfortunately, yeah, his dad took him immediately, and
I'm pretty proud of him too.
Yeah.
And I like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
yeah, it sounds like he's describing a mini stroke. Probably caused by a tumor, given what we know now. Yeah. Oh, wow. Your mom had the same? Aw. What else did I have for you today? Oh, the other thing that had come out after the address have been the memes. The memes are insane. And they keep coming. This one is pretty great. DJ is Secret Service. But even more than that, another thing that the other side of the aisle did was there's again, why do they do these things? Why do they think these are this is a good idea? They set themselves up to be memed. It's so easy, holding up signs, holding up paddles, whatever they were. It was must steals, but must steals my heart. It's turned into a Valentine's Day. This other one too. Talib, I'm the reason Muslim men prefer goats. It's like, do you not? They don't. Well, they don't know how to meme, right? They can't meme, so it's not their fault, I guess. So stupid. Oh man. Beyond those memes, I'm kind of obsessed with the JD Vance memes. It's getting a little out of control, but I'm here for it. It's so good. Oh my gosh. So I'm just going to show a few of those that stood out to me. This one. Doug Trio. You should never put them to chemtrip in the fridge, Mr. Zensky. I don't know why. I don't know why, but and then so you have people on the left and right both memeing him, and I saw I think it was Herrera. He said that he talked to JD and that he found it amusing. I mean, come on, this is obviously mean spirited, but it's still funny. So some people can meme, I guess. I can breathe just fine. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I can't. So yeah, I've been bookmarking these like crazy. My pugs think they're tough, real toughies. What did you just join? The pre-pre. We're warming up. The JD Vance memes. They're everywhere. You can't escape. So this was emojis. I had a hard time with this one. I was like, what is that? Just the Chad meme? Correct me if I'm wrong. The little face one. Suns and shadows. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I'll pull you.
I'm so popular. Everybody
Eventually.
loves me so much.
Thank you so much. Hanging out with me for a little while. But we roll over to PRE-PRE-FNT with the guys over at NERDWARS. Let's see. This one's grossed me out. I don't know. There's a lot of gross. I said I was pulling a gooch. I'll have to pull more 16 candles ones instead. But yeah, the last 3 days on X. These Vance memes will make your pubs crash out. Now we find them funny too. It's so good. Oh, so last week, I talked about, showed the video clip preview of Gavin Newsom's podcast. Apparently, Charlie Kirk was his first guest, and I guess people aren't happy about it. People on the left aren't happy about it because Gavin splits with Dems on trans athletes, women in women's sports, while seeking advice from MAGA influencer Charlie Kirk. Interesting.
You right now should come out and be like, you know what? the young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports, that shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate,
but like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. So that's easy to call out, the unfairness of that. There's also a humility and a grace, that these poor people are more likely to commit suicide, have anxiety and depression. And the way that people talk down to vulnerable communities is an issue that I have a hard time with as well. So both things I can hold in my hand.
So,
here is everything you need to know about an.
I don't want to know. Acknowledge that it's deeply unfair to allow transgender athletes to compete against biological women. He's speculated to be eyeing a 2028 presidential run. He stopped short of calling for an outright ban, but lamented how conservatives weaponize that issue. It's an issue of fairness. Completely agree with you on that. It is an issue of fairness. It's deeply unfair. Okay, unfair. But the governor admitted to campus culture warrior Charlie Kirk on this. This is Gavin Newsom podcast. Yeah, I'm not wrestling the fairness issue. I totally agree with you. Let's see, Newsom, who's term limited and can't run for governor in 2026, has been a staunch advocate for the LGBTQ plus rights. Last year, he signed a law banning schools from notifying parents about their children's gender identity, which really irritates me. I hate it. Alex Darby gifted 10? Really? Really? Thank you so much, Alex. I don't know what to do with that right now. Normally I have somebody pushing buttons for me on the backside. Fridays I'm on my own and I get lost. But on the topic.
Just be happy with your vagina. You got it already. Don't have to make a new one. And if you got a penis, just keep on it. Don't cut it off.
Score a direct hit.
And they did hit. Thank you so much, Alex. Let's see. Yeah, maybe not push for decade mental illness in your populations. Maybe. Gavin Jellyfish Newsom. Yeah. Trans kids and their families should be celebrated, not targeted by the state. They are heroes. Okay. Why is it a disorder in the DSM-5? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So enough of that nonsense. But I don't want to sign up for the Independent. Get out of here. So liberals trash Gavin Newsom for launching podcasts with Charlie Kirk interview. Who do Democrats think is the audience for Gavin Newsom in a podcast with Charlie Kirk? One reporter wondered about the Kirk sit down. It's hold on. Let's see if it's just the
You
same
right
thing.
now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state.
Okay, we already heard that. But this is a obviously left-leaning publication. They're not happy about it. So the governor is seen as a likely 28th presidential hopeful, is under fire from liberals and progressives for his friendly interview with Charlie Kirk, which featured Newsom agreeing with MAGA provocateur on trans athlete bans and other culture war issues. Gavin Newsom is trash and always has been, one Blue Sky user noted about the Newsom Kirk sit down. They're not open to dialogue, especially if he disagrees or ends up agreeing. I wonder if his a little bit of me wonders if his new venture is going to radicalize his takes and go. Personally, I think he's just trying to get the centrists, the middle of the aisle people, the 90s and early 2000s Democrats, get them back by, agreeing with 80% of the population on these issues. Yeah, we already know that our disagreements are with the MAGA movement. I want to understand what the motivations are, the legitimacy of those motivations, and just really understand where people are coming from. They're influential. They explain more things in more ways on more days about what's going on. And if we're not trying to understand their motivations, we will be victims of their motivations. Okay. So yeah, we didn't know who his first guest was going to be until it dropped, I guess. He declined to reveal who his first few guests would be on the podcast, but hinted that they would be fairly well-known figures in Trump world. I don't want to lose these folks by letting their names out there, he said, adding, look at the lineup at CPAC. It's that crew. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And even on his own Twitter, Republicans are flooding the zone with content, policy, and messaging every single day. Yes, they have talking points, good ones, most of the time in the current climate. for the last 4 years because they went totally off the rails. The pendulum swung too far. So we can't just sit back or play dead. Time to flip the script.
I think you talked about it the other day. A lot of folks were talking about that Carville article where he talked about
roll over and play dead.
Roll over. In essence, he said that. I think it was a strategic retreat, right? That we need to come back. Trump's starting to implode. His numbers are getting soft. This was even before the tariff issues, et cetera. And then come back and strike when hot. And I immediately, no BS, thought about you, who's just 24/7 flooding the zone, owning this space, every day getting a convert, every day picking up 1, 2, 10,000 folks, continuing the momentum, coming out of this damn election. And then I'm thinking about, we're going to stand back and watch.
It's a low bar these days, though, Slay, right? You can say, yeah, it's not fair. And it's like, oh, he's base now. Not, nah. I mean, low bar. We'll see what he does.
You run circles around us for 6 months, the next 2 or 3 years, waiting for the moment to finally strike, struck me as not necessarily the best advice. And it's not a knock on Carville, who I have deep respect for. What's your thoughts?
That's okay. So I don't have to. He's right about one thing in the last 40 years. It's economy is stupid. And boy, he spent down that one line pretty amazingly. Yeah, I hope you guys retreat.
You kind of like the
more
advice.
For us.
You like
I mean,
the
there's no opposition. There's no activist spark. You guys are posting these cringe videos on social media.
What are the videos? What are the ones?
I don't know.
What is cringe? I don't understand what cringe is. They don't get it.
It's like harmonious thing of like 22 senators all saying the same thing.
Didn't like that, yeah.
I didn't like it. Go ahead. Go do more of that.
What do you do?
Yeah, keep doing that. You're shooting yourself in the dick. Like, keep doing that. And he's wondering why. Because you're out there every day getting a convert every day. Yeah.
But what do you do? Like seriously, that. Charlie Kirk, give us some advice.
Get better ideas, Governor.
And he chose to post that on his own Twitter. X, whatever. This frickin' guy. So the other thing that came out of it was Gavin Newsom gives props to conservatives like Charlie Kirk for flooding the zone, reveals teen son is a fan. Well, I have a news clip, but apparently Gavin didn't let his son come to meet Charlie, even though he wanted to. He said he had to go to school. Meanwhile, he kept kids out of school for 2 years? But no, he needs to be in school. Can't meet one of his conservative heroes. Yeah. Let's see. He's officially a podcaster now. Okay. I released yesterday on the show, aptly, if unoriginally dubbed, This is Gavin Newsom, the prominent Democrat, was joined by conservative influencer and Turning Points USA co-founder. You're making a damn dent in the culture wars, Newsom told Kirk, while adding that his 13-year-old son is a big fan. Interesting. Let's see. He said, totally agree with Kirk on the trans women issue. Fairness. Let's see. Anything else new in here? Marathon was on the 16th. Keep getting ads for that. Let's see. Oh, here's what I was looking for. This was just streamed this morning. Eventually. Meanwhile, hello. Hello. All 63 of you across platforms. Hi. Oh, please.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are we
going to get a little my Lord and Savior in vain like that?
By the way, forgive me, Jesus. Okay. We can edit that out. Jesus, there's hope.
Gotta stop saying that. We have enough libs in our country.
Jesus, on that, Charlie Kirk.
Thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain. This is Gavin Newsom. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Or whatever. Having Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
It looks like someone is thirsty for a presidential run. California Governor Gavin Newsom is breaking with the left-wing lunatics in his party, making common sense on men playing in women's sports while chatting with Charlie Kirk on his new podcast.
You right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports, that shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate
but like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely.
Well, to be fair, Jeff, I don't know if he's an atheist, but his deity is not the same.
I agree with you on that. So that's easy to call out, the unfairness of that.
I think he obviously is going to try to change, but he is like a reptile, right? And so he's just constantly like a chameleon. Okay, what do you want me to be this week? But he has a Kamala Harris problem. All of his positions are well known. And this is a guy who he attacked people who were trying to protect women in sports. He opened civil rights investigations into school boards and districts that passed parental notification laws preventing schools from hiding info from parents about their own kids.
Gavin Newsom realizes that the party's in trouble, and he realizes that it's cleaving. You have the Bill Maher Democrat and the Joy Reid Democrat. They can no longer coexist, which is why he made this podcast play, and it feels like Club Random. He is trying to keep the men from completely disowning the party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he can't just say, hey, I'm different. He's got to show his evolution on the podcast. So he's bringing in all these conservatives to show that
Obviously,
he's not like
I'm not like those other Dems. Yeah, I mean, it's totally transparent what he's trying to do. But I had to bring this one up. It's an oldie. How long ago was this? 2023. But yeah, memorable. Lizard man. Anyway.
three-eyed, 10-legged freak that you normally, assume is a Democrat. Remember the story you were told. Doctors pressuring parents into surgery for their kids by asking this one question: would you rather have a dead son or a living daughter? That was a criminal question, a criminal lie. Every doctor who asked that question should be disbarred and perhaps charged with something, because that's the same lie that Gavin is pushing. These kids are really, really...
Yeah, we don't need to watch all of that, but I thought I'd give you a little update on our governor. Oh, speaking of updates, Lily Phillips, she's at it again. Lily Phillips, 23, is now sleeping with elderly men in nursing homes for the latest sex stunt. She started hitting up nursing homes to have sex with geriatric men and has made millions selling sordid sex stunts on all her OnlyFans. So she's now betting elderly men as part of her latest OnlyFans stunt. She hit up an American nursing home to meet one of her oldest fans, 82-year-old Steve. Donning nothing more than a miniskirt and a cardigan that showed off her cleavage, a beaming Lily posed for a selfie with the overjoyed geriatric, who would use a walking frame to balance himself for the photo. All right, let's watch, I guess.
Today I'm at the care home. When I said I don't mind guys any age or any size, I really meant it. I found my oldest fan via Facebook, and when I asked for his address, he actually sent me the address of a care home. So I'm actually here with him and his friends, and I'm going to show them a good time. When I said I don't mind guys any age or any size, I really meant it.
Are you still planning to
Good
do
for her. Good for her. Oh, there they are. So she recently told E! News that she's become a multimillionaire thanks for her jaw-dropping sex stunts on OnlyFans. To me, there's no amount of money that would make me stop. There's no goal. What I'm doing it for the love of the game. I just really enjoy it. I'm very used to sleeping with a lot of guys. I did this as a hobby before I did it for work, so it's not that outrageous to me. Her decision to go after geezers. Geezers received a mixed reaction online, with one person writing, "Oh my god, no Van Cleef bracelet is worth that." Another added, "She generally does it for the love of the game, just has to be. We need more women like you. You go put a smile on those old boys' faces." No. She's not the first OnlyFans star that started seeking out elderly men for her movies. Tiffany, Wisconsin. I would say out of Wisconsin, but 36 at Wisconsin Tiff, as she's known online, first joined OnlyFans during COVID, but it wasn't until she started filming content with senior citizens that her popularity skyrocketed. I've heard stories about senior homes and that they're like super horned up, but there she is. After one of her regular co-stars fell through, Tiffany made plans to hit nursing homes across America's Midwest to find a new batch of geriatric gentlemen to film with. I want to hit Chicago, maybe Milwaukee. I don't have the exact dates yet. Going to the VA, the Veterans Health Administration, is even easier because a lot of older men go to the VA for their health appointments and stuff. Predator. I don't know. What do you think? OnlyFans goes old fart. What's next? Orange Flamingos. I mean, who wants to... I was going to ask who wants to watch that content, but yeah, the weirdos. Or just old men. I don't know. They're experienced and they take their time with me and they actually value the time we share together. The thing with younger guys who are my age, they're all like, bam, 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 bam. But with older men, I can actually sit down and have a conversation. Tiffany expects her nursing home tour to be quite lucrative for her OnlyFans page, so she's being extra careful to make sure that her content isn't pulled from the platform like Bonnie Blue's viral 1,000 man orgy was. I have to get consent forms and make sure everything is legal so I'm not breaking any rules, she explained. Yeah. Personally, I'm more of a fan of only cans. So, you know, I live for the memes. They're great. Now I prefer to call her a fuckhead. There is a category for everything. Should there be? No, but there is. Yeah. You're gonna lose your lunch. Don't do that. Only cans. See, isn't only cans better? Speaking of OnlyFans, Amaranth had a situation earlier this week as she reportedly opened fire on masked robbers after they pistol whipped her while attempting to steal $20 million in crypto that she flaunted online. Tell me how you feel about this one. Let's see. Okay. This is her home surveillance. She's running up to the building.
It's in here. It's in here.
It's in here. You can see a handgun. Shiny. The shots? Great. I got shot. Scurrying away. Well, that's the thing, Jen. So yes, I own guns. Self-defense, absolutely. It's just weird because some places are saying that she's actually said that she shot the guy. There's other reports that her husband shot the guy. If we're to believe that she shot, there's like literally 8 seconds in between the time she gets in the door, finds a firearm, turns it on the 3 guys who also are reportedly all armed. Yeah, it's given me Jesse Smollett vibes. Yeah. She streamed her wallet. Oh, good grief. Madly staged. Yeah, I'm all for self-defense. It's just I'm getting shenanigan vibes. So but she's done stunts before. So it's hard to believe people after, they get caught crying wolf too many times. But she bragged about having $20 million in crypto, was yanked out of bed by a trio of robbers who held her hostage before she opened fire on them and sent them fleeing. Caitlin Saragusa, 31, posted about the terrifying Sunday ordeal on X, along with a dramatic video. I believe I shot one of them. I'm covered in blood, but only some of it is mine. 6.2 million followers on Twitch. She shared a clip that reveals the moment she and her husband turned the tables on her attackers. Okay. 3 men following Amaranth into a building. 2 gunshots can be heard, and then the robbers are seen running. The situation's weird. She said the robbers kicked in her bedroom door, demanded she give them her cryptocurrency, and then struck her in the face with a pistol. They beat me and pistol whipped me. The pummeling felt like it would never end, she wrote later on X. They gave me a phone and said, log in, with a gun to my head, and I tweeted because calling would be a death sentence. She managed to use her phone to post, I'm being too robbed at gunpoint, to her X account. Then she led the assailants into a building where her husband, who had seen her online, SOS, was waiting with a pistol. And she said the attacker shot her door before kicking it in. At least one of those shots was fired by the influencer herself, she said. And she tagged Staccato, the maker of the high-end handgun she apparently used. Amaranth did not explain how she acquired the weapon, but said she believes she hit one of the attackers because there was a trail of blood left on her property. The Houston Police Officers Union confirmed her harrowing account on its account on X, adding that she was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and they're still searching for the suspects. Yeah, the math ain't mathin'. Not for me. All three guys ran out and followed each other like ducks. That's highly odd.
So here's how it went down. On March 2nd, 2025, Caitlin Amaranth Siragusa, I'm pretty sure I butchered that, was the target of a violent home invasion at her house in Houston, according to reports from the Houston Chronicle. 3 armed intruders broke into her home around 10:40 p.m., pistol whipped her, and demanded access to her cryptocurrency. They knew exactly what they were looking for. During the attack, she suffered significant injuries from being beaten, and these guys weren't playing around. But here's where things flipped. Her husband reportedly intervened and shot at the intruders, potentially injuring one of them before they fled. Siragusa was later taken to the hospital, but is in stable condition. This whole thing was documented almost in real time because she took to social media to update her followers, sharing details of the attack. And
Bill S. Preston, Esquire. She could be making it up, but the state will go hard on her if they find out she lied. So I'm leaning to she's telling the truth and they're just dumb crooks. I don't know. Hey, Amber Heard, where on the face where there isn't makeup did the fellow hit you? Yeah, I mean, what's been shared with New York Post and TMZ and all that, I guess it's a wait and see. But it's her, so I don't know. The Colin Rugg reported on it too. She claims that she shot a robber who broke into her home and demanded access to her crypto accounts, pistol whipped, held hostage. She was able to sneak out a tweet. When they couldn't get into her accounts, she led them into a building where her husband, who had seen the post on X, was waiting with a pistol. I believe I shot one of them. I'm covered in blood, but only some of it's mine. Police said the husband was waiting with a pistol and fired shots when the men approached the area. Investigators believe one robber was shot because there was a trail of blood. Sausage! We got a War Master in the house. Someone shot me. Oh no, not ABF. War Master must live on. Let's see. You know you're addicted to X when tweeting is your first reaction to being robbed at gunpoint. But X addiction save lives. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see what happens. We'll see if anything comes of it. If they release any further evidence, like officially from the police department. But we're coming up on our time. So let's see. I had a couple of funnies. Actually, one funny and something interesting. So
had to learn not to say your N-word, the actual N-word, because I learned English from watching your movies on TV in English, but the subtitles were in French. And whenever somebody said the actual N-word in the movie, the translation in the subtitles in French, what I learned, it said friend. Every movie.
Does anyone speak French or watch French television can confirm or no? Because I'm willing to believe.
It said friend. That's so wrong, but I didn't know. Every movie, like, yo, what up, my friend, you know? Even the darkest movies, I was like, that makes no sense, because it'd be like, yo, let's burn these friends. And I was like, what kind of friend does that shit? And I've been here for a while, but there's one thing I still don't understand, guys. It's the whole concept behind the TV show. Friends. You know the show, right? Where are all the friends? There's no friends in Friends. I'll tell you where they are. They're in Paris. You know the song, Friends in Paris? They were there the whole time. But seriously, the first time I went to New York, where the show Friends, that has no friends, takes place, I was 20 years old, and I was like, hold on, I've been lied to my whole life by the show, right? Because New York is so much friendlier than I thought. And I've traveled a lot around the States. New York is not as friendly as Detroit. Detroit is the friendliest place I've ever been to.
Friendliest place on earth.
So friendly over there, yeah. Well, I had to.
Okay, that was the funny. And it was good, right? It's cute. Very clever. I didn't know this about the pod scene, the pod race.
People in the crowd, it wasn't CGI. They were actually painted Q-tips.
What?
So in Phantom Menace,
Anybody know this already? Because I was today years old.
pod racing sequence, so the one on Tatooine. So that set was a miniature, right? All the stands, and then like the starting point where they circled, where they started. And then there's some like rocks and rock formation and stuff, but it's like huge stands with like, it's like tens of thousands of people in the crowd, right? That's all the people in the crowd. It wasn't CGI. They were actually painted Q-tips.
So sad.
So the team painted, I think like 200,000 Q-tips, different colors, and just put them in the stands. So that's what's in the stands in the Phantom Menace pod racing sequence is actually just Q-tips.
Hold on, I gotta pull this up.
This comment, the man or woman who painted all those Q-tips is finally feeling the recognition they've longed for.
And then there's a couple of like miniature models of like actual characters, not in the stands though, but like walking on platforms. And they're just, but the rest of the crowd, the entirety of the crowd is all just.
The Deuce? ABF, War Master ABF. And they're working? You know, I always say this, but gentlemen, sir, doing this to a woman in my advanced age, you know, little palpitations. I should probably get that checked. Oh my goodness.
I love the chosen one. Loving him is lots of fun. We love the chosen one. Not as much as me.
Not as much as me. ABF, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Like,
Score a direct hit.
Okay, 60 for the resonator, and my grandson wants the sex robot.
thank you, ABF. Oh my goodness. It's very distracting. It's like you just like want to watch it. It's amazing. Then you see all these people that like sub to you, and you're like, I've never seen them before. Ah, B-Man got hit. Thank you, ABF.
There's Q-tips of different colors.
Holy crap. Yeah, but the shot's so far away you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, exactly. Like they pan it and they hold it for a while, but it's so far away you can't
Sexmatron.
you can't tell that it's not.
Bro, that's insane.
It's all just Q-tips.
You just blew my mind. That's a great miniature.
Oh yeah, it's awesome miniature. Oh, I wish they did more of them.
Holy crap, I'm just blown away. That's shocked.
All the people in the crowd, it
Super duper cool. And what else do we have before we get out of here? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna bring this up so the lineup is there, but I need to redirect. You know what? I'm not gonna redirect. Maybe I'll redirect. Nerd Wars. Welcome to Nerd Wars. Hey, that's where I will be shortly. Here's the linky dinky. And yeah, just head on over there. I will be there in just a few minutes. Pinned it in the chat. So we have pre-pre, where you are now, pre-FNT, where I will be shortly, and then the Cabal lineup, turning Gucci knees over at Diabolical Souls channel at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then I'll be joining inside the Badger's Den, which is at 8 p.m. I just confused myself. I was like 10 p.m. No, 10 p.m. is Neon Leon. So that's what we all have going on today. So head on over to Nerd Wars, and I will see you then. Thank you so much for being so generous and talking and hanging out with me for a bit, all 82 of you across platforms. You pre-preed. He pre-preed. Like Vader. Thank you, everybody. I gotta scoot on over. Scoot on over to Nerd Wars. So I will see you soon. Have a great day.